I want to suggest, and Allah knows best, that there are two very important scientific principles at work here, which point to the supreme importance of solar energy in the last age. The age which witnesses the war on Islam, and that war on Islam is now reaching its climax. The next 50 years, I believe, are going to see the worst. The worst is coming up. There is a scientific principle which is called phototropism. A plant, if placed by a window, would turn and move towards the sunshine. Oh, you know that. Yeah. Attraction to sunlight. And so the bodies could be rolling in consequence of attraction to sunlight. So when the sunlight enters on that side, they roll towards that side to get the sunlight. And when the sunlight enters on this side in the evening, the bodies roll back, attracted to the sunlight. Phototropism. Then there's a second scientific principle, that sunlight can be transformed into energy. It's called photosynthesis. Oh, you remember your school days now. Photosynthesis. Sunshine being transformed into energy is solar energy at work. And so the bodies of the young men got that sufficient minimum amount of energy to keep the vital organs still functioning. When we build the Muslim village, inshallah, we disconnect from a godless, vulgar world, and we go to the countryside, far from the madding crowd. And there in the countryside we build a village. The village, of course, must be self-sufficient in water. The village must be self-sufficient in food production. I will tell you why in a moment. But the village must strive also for self-sufficiency in energy, which means an exploitation of solar energy. Every time the world of Islam, and it is not my intention to speak disparagingly of the European people, but they're the ones who control power in the world today. Every time a non-European people who are not a part of the power circle of the world have attempted to harness solar energy, to develop the technology for solar energy, the World Bank, the IMF have always intervened to try to stamp it out, because that would give you a measure of independence, and they want to keep you in a state of dependence. And so the young men slept until Allah woke them up. When Allah woke them up, He said, we did this لِنَعْلَمَ أَيُّ الْحِزْبَيْنِ أَحْصَى لِمَا لَبِثُوا أَمَدًا. In the story as it comes out of the Quran, this is the most important point of all that Allah is directing attention. He says, I have done this in order to determine which of the two groups, which of the two viewpoints can determine how long did they tarry in the cave. Which two? There's a lot of guessing and so on going on in this. My opinion, and Allah knows best. The two are the judgment of the determination of time based on external observation, and the judgment of the determination of the period of time based on an attempt to penetrate the internal reality. These two. When they were roused from their sleep, they now asked each other, how long have we been here? Kam labithtum? Some of them said, Qalu labithna yawman aw ba'da yawm. We feel as though we've been sleeping here for just a day or a part of a day. This is how it's going to be when we are raised from the grave. Even though we may have been in the grave for 1,000 years, when we are raised from the grave, it will feel as though we've been there for just a day or part of a day. But not all of them had this perception. There were others who felt that no, we need to penetrate the internal reality, his being. And therefore, the second group of the young men, they paused to consider that there may be more to this than meets the eye. And so they said, Rabbukum a'lamu bima labithtum. Your Lord knows best. We are not going to take this event at just face value. She comes with the baby in her arms. No one has seen her for 9 months. She disappeared. She is the most virtuous, the most pious, the most learned, the most famous girl, Jewish girl in all the land. And she has a baby in her hands. One group look at this and immediately come to the conclusion based on the external form of the, she committed sin. He's a bastard. But if you were seeing with 2 eyes, not with one, you would say, no. No. Let us pause. There is more to this than meets the eye. And so Surah Al-Kahf in this story, while directing attention to the supreme importance of the subject of time, is also asking us to remind ourselves of the importance of being able to distinguish between external appearance and internal reality. Now, how many were they, the young men? Some say 3, some say 4, some say 5, some say 6, some say 7, some say 8. That's not a subject for you to debate with anybody. Allah knows best. Stay away from that and proceed with the subject. But in directing attention to the subject of time and telling us that this story is connected with Dajjal, Surah Al-Kahf is pointing to the importance of the understanding of the subject of time if you are to understand the Antichrist or Dajjal. You must understand time. Our teacher, Maulana Ansari, teacher of Maulana Nasir and myself, our teacher was the master of this subject. About the multi-dimensional nature of time. He would lecture and tell us about serial time. And then he speak about biological time. And then he speak about cosmic time. And then he speak about absolute time. And then he'd quote for us hadith